Hey, welcome! Today we are going to crack the code on one of the most frustrating things for artists out there. How do you turn all that attention on social media into actual, real income? You know, you've got the followers, but your bank account, it's just not reflecting that. Well, we're gonna fix that.
You see a number like this, and for so many musicians, this is it. This is the dream, right? A six-figure following. I mean, it really looks like you've finally made it. It's this massive audience, a huge number that feels like the ultimate prize for all that work you put into creating content.
And yet, here's the reality for so many artists. A huge follower count that translates to, what? Pennies from streaming? It is incredibly frustrating, and it really makes you feel like the whole system is just broken. But the truth is, you might just be focused on the wrong number entirely.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we're going to dig into exactly why followers don't pay the bills. Then, I'm going to introduce you to a really powerful new model called the Fanbase funnel. From there, we'll get into the specifics of how to move your fans through that funnel with the right kind of content. And we're going to finish with a concrete action plan so you can start tracking the metrics that actually move the needle.
Okay, let's dive right into part one. Followers don't pay the bills. This is all about understanding the huge difference between just having someone's attention and getting them to take action. I really want you to burn this into your brain. This is the core idea. Your follower count, that's just potential. That's it. Real income comes from getting that potential audience to actually do something. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. You've got to stop collecting fans and start activating them.
Think about it. A follow is passive. It's a one-time, super low-effort nod of approval. But streaming platforms, they don't pay for follows. They pay for these specific behaviors. Did someone actually click the link in your bio? Did they listen to your whole song? And even better, did they save it, which tells the platform they want to hear it again? Or did they add it to a playlist? These actions, not the follow itself, are what actually generate revenue.
So the big question is, how do you get people to take those actions? Well, let's move on to the solution. It's a powerful framework that is going to guide your entire strategy, the Fanbase funnel. Now, this isn't just some vague concept, it's a real structured process. The Fanbase funnel is basically a map. It shows you the exact journey a person takes from barely knowing you exist to becoming a fan who actively and, repeatedly contributes to your income. And here they are, the 6 stages of that journey. It all starts with awareness, then it moves through interest and engagement. But what is absolutely critical to understand is that the real money, the sustainable career-building income, it all lives down here in the bottom half: conversion, retention, and advocacy. Your entire job is to guide people from the top of this funnel to the bottom.
Okay, so on to section 3, moving fans down the funnel. Let's get really practical. How do you actually guide people through these stages? We'll start by looking at some common mistakes that just kill your progress, and then we'll get into the key drivers that really speed things up.
So, does any of this look familiar? I bet it does. So many artists get stuck right here. They're chasing that vanity metric of more followers. They post a song link with a caption like, "New song out now," and then they sit back and wonder why nobody is clicking. They're not telling their fans what to do, or even more importantly, why they should care enough to do it. See, the solution isn't to just yell louder, it's to connect deeper. You move fans down the funnel with great storytelling about your music by building a genuine emotional connection. You do it by using repetition so they become really familiar with your best hooks, and honestly, sometimes it's as simple as giving them a clear, friendly reminder of how they can support you. And this, right here, illustrates the whole concept perfectly. Artist A goes viral, gets 1 million views and a ton of passive followers, but earns almost nothing from it. Meanwhile, Artist B has a much smaller but deeply dedicated core of maybe 5,000 fans who save their songs and listen to them over and over again. Artist B is the one building a real career. This is the power of the funnel in action. So you want to be Artist B, right? Of course you do. Well, it all comes down to creating content that actively pushes people down that funnel. Let's look at some really specific examples of what you should be posting to drive real action. So, instead of just dropping your Spotify link and hoping for the best, try these things. Share short, super catchy snippets of your songs. Tell the actual stories behind your lyrics to build that emotional connection we talked about. Repeat your best hooks over and over to build that familiarity. And give your fans a little peek behind the scenes. This is the kind of stuff that makes people care enough to actually click that link. In fact, here's a little playbook you can use for your very next release. Before it drops, post clear reminders. On release day, tell them exactly where to listen and directly ask them to save the track and add it to a playlist. When they share it, repost them. Build that community. And please, don't forget to follow up. Most people need to see a message a few times before they'll actually act on it. All right, let's bring this all home.
We've talked about the problem, we've talked about the framework, so now let's build your action plan and get really focused on the key numbers you should actually be tracking.
Here it is, your 6-step action plan. Number 1, post consistently. Build that familiarity. 2, repeat your best hooks a lot. 3, tell the stories behind the music. 4, teach your fans exactly how to support you. Let them know that saves and repeat listens make a huge difference. 5, use clear, simple calls to action. And finally, number 6, follow up. This is the simple, powerful loop that builds a career. And this is what you should be obsessed with, not your follower count. Look at your save rate. That shows how many people want to hear your song again. Your repeat listens? That's a huge signal of true fandom, and it tells the algorithm to show your music to more people. And listener growth, not follower growth. That shows if you're actually attracting people who listen.
And always remember, the goal here is so much bigger than just streaming revenue. When you build this funnel and you cultivate that core group of active, engaged fans, you are building the foundation for a long-term sustainable career. These are the people who will buy your merch, who will show up to your shows, and who will join your fan club.
So let's end with the one idea that just sums this all up. Your job is no longer just to get attention. Your job is to turn that attention into specific behavior, because that behavior is what turns into real, sustainable revenue. That is the secret to the Fanbase funnel.